Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how much could depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos. Today is Sunday, the 20th of October 2024. Happy Sunday. I bring you news updates. Kanu carries the emotional burden of the Eastern region. The Eastern region believes they are not part of Nigeria. That's according to Dan Olassi. Oh yes, now Dan Olassi, the former PDP chairman in Anambra State, shared his personal experience of visiting Kanu, the illegally detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Oh yes, he said, Onyendu becomes highly emotional whenever he sees him in DSS custody. Yes, he said this reaction highlights the emotional weight Mazen Kanu carries as a figure who represents the hopes of many in the post-war Biafra era. Yes, he said, Onyendu's continued detention is seen by many in the eastern region as symbolic of their exclusion from the Nigerian state, driving further discontent and unrest. Yes, he said the government should take a daring step to release Mazen Kanu to see if such action will stop the unrest in the eastern region. Yes, he said, because of Onyendu's influence. He said Onyendu could be key in helping to calm the situation if his release is managed properly. That's what he's saying. But yes, he said that he stopped going to see Onyendu in DSS because he's very emotional. So once he sees him, he starts being emotional. He said Onyendu is a young man who represents the energy of post-war Nigerian Biafra. He said he's a young man who was born in 1969. And he said people virtually worship him because there is so much disenchantment. He said most people in the eastern region believe they are not part of Nigeria. He said it's unfortunate, according to him. He said, unfortunately, they believe they are not part of Nigeria. He said they believe that. So that's what is happening in the region. He said they believe they are not part of the country. Oh, yes. And he said holding Mazen Kanu typifies to them the same theory. Why are they holding him? What did he say? That's what the man is saying, asking rhetorically, and saying this is what is Eastern region. Also, the question they're asking, the question on their lips. Yes, why the central government holding Onyendu Mazen Kanu? Yes, what are the offenses he committed? The question on the lips of the Eastern region. Yes, that is it. So, he said the government should take the chance. Take a chance. Release him. Yes, and see what happens. That is it. He said definitely the unrest will stop if Onyendu is being released. But yes, because he said Onyendu is very influential person. He said he's very, very influential person. If you hear his name in any gathering, it stirs up some concern. He's a forward-looking, positive, very brilliant chap, he said. That's according to Dan Olassi. Yes, trying to elogize Mazen Kanu, saying, look, he's a brilliant chap. So he's a young man who is forward-looking. Oh, yes. So he has influence. So in any gathering you mention his name, he said you see concern will be raised. So and that is it. So he's saying Mazen Kanu carries the emotional burden of the post-Biafran era. Yes, there are people, once you mention Mazen Kanu, they will start crying. Yes, people who witnessed the war veterans, the Biafrans who witnessed the war, yes, those born before the war, those born, from 1950, yes, downwards, from 1950 downwards, yes, to 1940, 1930. So those people, once you mention Mazen Kanu, they start crying because they witnessed the war. Yes, they witnessed the war. Oh yes, they know what happened. They know everything. And they are seeing what is happening in the place. They are forced to stay. They are forced. They are forced to stay by force, by brute force, to stay, and they will see what's happening. They're seeing their fate. Apart from the exclusion of the region from the governance structure and the critical infrastructure and everything, how about the general governance of the country? Oh yes, everyone, they're all crying. They're all crying, from northern region to western region to eastern region. Yes, the people are not happy about the level of governance. From that 1970, they said, oh, the war ended, till now. There has been retrogression, suffering. People are gnashing their teeth. Yes, it has been one bad story to another. Disenchantment. People are not happy. Bad governance, maladministration, insecurity, hunger, poverty, ravaging diseases, poverty capital of the world. Imagine, how do you expect people to be happy? Whereas their country is the poverty capital of the whole world. You see, so those who are Biafrans are not happy at all, because they know they have the opportunity to build a powerful nation. Yes, if they were allowed in 1967 to have their own country, they would have become a great nation now. So the people are feeling emotional whenever they hear Mazen Kanu's name or they see him. They feel emotional, particularly those who were born, like the time we have said, from 1950 downwards to 1940, 30, thereabouts. So they feel emotional. They know what they missed. The opportunity they have to have their own country, to be a great nation, was thwarted by the Western powers like Britain. Yes, who are sponsoring and energizing the Gowon administration. Yes, to stop Biafrans from having their own country from 1970 to 1970. So these are the things, and the young people who were born after the Civil War, they see Mazen Kanu as their hope, the hope of tomorrow. They have hope, that's all, because there's no hope in the present contraption. Nothing to show for it. They're disenchanted. Yes, and that's the point. Oh yes. So it's very unfortunate, and he said it emphatically, talking about Dan Olashi. He's a statesman anyway. Yes, a former PDP chairman in Anambra State. He's a statesman. So he said it all. He said, look, in the eastern region, they believe they're not part of Nigeria. Simple. That's why they're trying to have their own country by, urging the United Nations to allow Biafrans to have their own country. Yes, and recognize Biafra as a country by making sure that this referendum the Biafrans have conducted stands. It's a self-referendum. Let it stand. If they will not recognize it, they should conduct their own. That's the only way out. If they won't recognize the self-referendum, let them conduct their own. Let them come and do their own. Supervise it. Oh yes, because that's the only way out. So that is it. Dan Olasin have said it all. He said, look, Onyendo carries the emotional weight, emotional burden of the Eastern region. Yes, the hopes he bears, he carries the weight. That is it. The young people have said, the younger generation, born from 1970, upwards to this date, they have the hopes in Mazen Kanu. There's no hope in the contraption. Nobody believes in it. The man, Dan Olasin have said it categorically. He said, look, they don't believe, the Eastern region don't believe in the Nigerian, strength or their capacity to do anything again, because they have lost hope. They have been disenchanted. Yes? So that is the point.